Edinburgh put lots of opportunities in front of me, and all I had to do was take them.
There is just so much to do in this city. Always something new to discover.
I love exploring Edinburgh. I found the people here very friendly and so much fun.
The city is known for being a global innovator in so many fields. That's what made it very attractive.
Edinburgh University is highly ranked worldwide. It's got such a strong academic reputation, which is why I was so eager to come here.
Edinburgh was always where I wanted to go to university during high school years.
It's a city with so many opportunities. It's a city you can be yourself in, and it's a city that challenges you.
Volleyball was a huge part of my life before starting university. It's been great playing it here as team captain.
The city has given me global opportunities to build my career, and I'll always be grateful for that.
The environment here has changed me. I've discovered my own independence.
I've made a lot of friends in Edinburgh. Scottish people are so welcoming. They've made me feel part of the city.
Everything I wanted to do, Edinburgh made happen. That's what university should be about. You need to be in a city that can inspire you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was it.
There are a lot of world-class universities, but how many of them are in world-class cities?
Go Edinburgh.
Go Edinburgh.
Go Edinburgh. Go Edinburgh.
Go Edinburgh.
Come on, Edinburgh! So very good afternoon to you. We're here at the Royal Commonwealth Pool in Edinburgh for our second night of finals. I say night of finals because it's almost mid-afternoon finals here at the Edinburgh International. I'm Duncan McKinnell. I'll be taking you through the action along with my colleague Alan Lynn, the Scottish Swimming National Coach. Good evening. It is evening. Good afternoon, let's say. Not used to saying good afternoon for a final session.
Yeah, I want to get my wires untangled.
Well, we won't go there. So we've got a busy program. We've got a little extra bonus for you at the beginning of the program with a swim off. So that's not on your program there, but we start with a 50 backstroke swim off. They have the privilege to swim in those skins that will be coming up later. After that, we've got distance events, 400 IM for the men, 800 free, the fastest heat for the women. Then we go to the backstroke sprints. And again, it's skins. We go for the seniors, 8 to 6 to 4, 3 and 2, and find a winner. 100 breaststroke, 100 butterfly, hundreds tonight, and 200 butterfly, 400 IM. More sprints then, so double dose tonight, 50 freestyle for the men, that'll be fast, and 50 breast for the women. And then we finish off the evening with 800 freestyle, the fastest heat for the men, and 200 freestyle for the women. What tickles your fancy there, Alan?
Difficult to pick one event, isn't it? So many great opportunities for fast times, which are world-class swimming last night. So RMPT probably the one person people are looking out for, but many more besides, and we're just about to get underway, I think.
Yes, so we have the swimmers up at the top end. You can see them there that will be performing in this swim-off. The two of them, Charlotte Evans of Loughborough University, she'll go in lane 4, so she's on the right, and Kate Butler of Ellesmere College is in lane 5. They both did a 30:11. The reason why we're doing the swim off in the final session is that one of them swam in the morning and one of them swam in the afternoon, so couldn't get them back together again to do the swim off this afternoon. So here they are. They'll have a little bit of recovery time because we've got these longer distance races before they have to come back, whoever wins, to get into the skins first round. So let's see how they do. Swim-off always seems to get them going well, doesn't it?
And we always see faster times in the swim-off, irrespective of how much time there is between the first and the second swim. So I'm sure they'll go much quicker just now. And then let's see what they can back up later on in the actual skins event.
After that, well, I think we're just about ready to go with that. We've got 400 IM to come after that. We'll see Mark Juranic, who looked pretty strong, but William Riley was faster than him in the heats this morning. That was a bit of a surprise, perhaps.
It was, and there's been quite a number of surprises from the heats, people really stepping up and getting the job done in the morning. So yeah, Mark will, I'm sure, challenge later on this evening, but that was an excellent heat swim. Here we go.
Yep, they're getting into the water, so remember 30:11 was the time they did earlier. Winner goes through into the skins. So they're under orders and off they go from the wall. Let's see who emerges ahead. Maybe just lane 5, Kate Butler, the younger of the two swimmers, but now getting into a stroke, Charlotte Evans. And Charlotte, perhaps the one you would fancy, the more experienced swimmer, does seem to have the edge now as they come down in the second half of the length. It looks like she is the one who's going to take this one. She's about a metre up. In the end, fairly comfortable. And what did you say, Alan? They're always faster. 29:52.
That would have got a much better lane in the skins final later on. So yeah, good swim from her, and we'll see her sometime later with the rest of the swimmers in that 50 backstroke skins final.
30:20 for Kate Butler, so she was just slightly slower than she was earlier. 29:52, so that's a nice one. Just shows what she can do there, and you look at the swims, that would have made her 4th fastest.
Yeah.
So if she can replicate that, she could be a contender from the outside lane.
She certainly could, and she'll have plenty of chances to prove it.
Yep. So looking forward to that. But next up, it will be the 400 metres individual medley, just waiting for the swimmers to make their way onto poolside. B final, junior final first. So we've got 8 swimmers there. Here they come.
From a call room area, flanked by the celebration of the Commonwealth Pool being 50 years old.
That's right, yeah. Who would have believed it? So Cameron Travis will go in lane 1 for Aberdeen Performance. Alex Rosser Barnett Ellesmere College in lane 2. George Rudd in lane 3 for City of Oxford. David Arioli of Millfield in lane 4. He had a really good swim yesterday. George Smith, Ellesmere College in 5. Rory Dixon of University of Stirling in 6. Arthur Llewellyn of Borough of Stockton in 7. And Ryan Duncan of Arborough St Thomas in lane 8. Times that they swam, quite a range of times. 4:39 the fastest, David Arioli, up to 4:52. So expect them to be spread out fairly well by the time we get to the finish. Can Arioli push on strong here? Have a couple of juniors in the open final as well, so that will matter in terms of who gets the junior win. But Arioli could well post a fast time to set them off, give them something to worry about, those two.
Yeah, as you say, he swam very well last night. 400 IM, we'll see several lead changes, I would expect, as the swimmers display their prowess over the 4 different strokes, and we're seeing that already with a strong start out there in lane number 6 from Rory Dixon.
Is there a perfect way to swim an IM, particularly 400?
Yeah, ideally coaches will ask swimmers to negative split each of the strokes. Difficult on the fly obviously with the dive start, but the intention would be to spread your effort evenly, and if possible negative split the strokes, that way you can build into it, and the best IMers will try and swim that way.
So a cracking start from Rory Dixon in lane 6. He's really taking it to them in the butterfly. And so at this level there may well be one stroke that's not up to par with the other one, so we'll see how it works out, but it goes through 1:01.85.
Better known as a breaststroker, Rory, so that's a nice strong start from him on fly, but I'm sure some of the rest of the field will come back to him now on the backstroke, and that looks exactly what Arioli is doing.
Yes, Arioli certainly has broken away from the pack now and is starting to eat into the Rory Dixon lead. Rory in his first season at Stirling. Difficult to make that transition from club to the performance centre swimming?
It can be. Tends to be a smoother and perhaps faster transition for some of our male swimmers than it appears to be for the females, but it's about resilience, it's about independence and taking control of things, and that's not always something that happens with age group swimmers living with their parents and so on.
Arioli, though, as you said, looking really good in the backstroke, and he has now taken that commanding lead that Dixon had and turned it into a commanding lead of his own. He's up by around 4 or 5 metres at halfway, 2:12.47. So second place 2:15, so 3-second advantage now for Arioli.
Rory Dixon, as I said at the start, probably better known in terms of single strokes as a breaststroker, and beginning to eat into that lead with a strong first 50 here of the breaststroke leg.
Yep, so going back and forwards a bit here, isn't it? I wonder if George Smith in lane 5 can also get into the mix in this breaststroke. Certainly starting to move up a bit, but still it's Arioli, the Italian from Millfield, 2:54.06, but the lead was 3 seconds as they went into the breaststroke. It's now only half a second, so he seems to be holding it in the second half, though. He's doing well in the second half. You'd have thought that with that level of attrition on that lead that Dixon might have gone past him by now. He's just about there with him now. 15 metres of breaststroke to go before they get into freestyle. And Smith is definitely getting into the mix now in lane 5, so we're going to have a 3-way contest on the free here.
They certainly are, and Ellesmere College known for their strength and distance swimming. I'm sure Smith will make this a tough race to win on the freestyle.
But a lovely transition into freestyle from Arioli. That really opened it up. There seems to be obviously a special skill there to make that change, because he got probably 1.5 meters out of that.
But that's one of the reasons why we asked the swimmers to go negative split, so that when they do the stroke into the transition, that they were approaching the wall with momentum. It's exactly what Arioli did, and he's really taken the rest of the field by storm. There's no question he's going to win. It's a battle for second place with the other two.
Yep, suddenly had a 3-second advantage at the final turn, and that's probably just getting bigger now. Very, very strong on the freestyle. There's a good contest still for second place, but George Smith has the edge over Rory Dixon. But David Arioli, another very fine swim from him, comes in 4:33.93. That is about 5 seconds faster than he was earlier in the day. And, well, the two juniors that are in the open final, both faster than that this morning, so you would expect still the junior will come from this next race, but we'll wait and see.
We will indeed. Angus Allison and Charlie Hutchison, we're just about to see those two juniors.
But David Arioli has certainly done his bit to give them something to chase. So here we go, our first open final of day 2. Here they come on to poolside. 8 swimmers. Max Murphy of Loughborough University getting a good cheer from his teammates in lane 1. Jacob Greeno at Bath University in lane 2. Charlie Hutchison, one of the two juniors, goes for Ellesmere College in lane 3. Lane 4, the fastest qualifier from Bath University, William Riley. 5 from University of Stirling is Mark Sharanek. Brodie Williams goes for Millfield in lane 6. Then we have the second junior, Angus Allison of Warren de Bass. And finally, Baptiste Colomar of Stade Clermont. He goes in lane 8. Fastest this morning, 4:28 from both William and Mark. Mark Sharanek coming into the meet on 4:16, as was Brodie Williams, so he might be a contender here. William Riley on a 4:27, so he was pretty close to his best time earlier. They'll be looking to nudge that. Looks like we've actually got an empty lane, lane 2, so no Jacob. 7 will go.
Certainly the form swimmers on best times would be Mark Tranick, Brodie Williams in lanes 5 and 6. Mark, of course, a product of Carnegie Swimming Club across the river in Fife via University of Florida, now back at University of Stirling in Scotland.
Yeah, well-travelled athlete, medalist for Scotland in this one, of course, out the Gold Coast. Very fine swim there. 26.86. Must have been one of your happy memories there, Alan.
One of, indeed.
One
all
of a number.
We're all happy memories. Brodie Williams is a very strong backstroke swimmer. He's swum 156 for 200 back last season at the Rome Seven Hills meet, so look out for him on this second leg, and he's made a really strong start to this 400 IM final.
Yes, so he's the one taking it out about a metre, maybe not quite a metre. 58.24 against Sharanek's 58.62. Battle of the juniors looks to be just with Charlie Hutchison in lane 3, so just below the first of the yellow lane ropes, and then it's Angus Allison 2 from the top is his rival, but at the front it's still Williams ahead of Sharanek. In fact, well, you talked about his backstroke, and he is just extending his lead, but you would think Sharanek will come back strongly at him in breaststroke, but let's wait and see on that one.
Yeah, for sure. Mark is a stronger breaststroker than Brodie. I think he'd like to be in touch a little bit more than this at the moment. Of course, everyone's still in reasonably hard, if not heavy, training as they build up towards the trials for the Olympic Games next month.
And I guess it's harder to swim through that in the longer events than it is in the shorter events.
And hardest probably of all in the 400 IM, which is a real test of skill and stamina, speed, endurance.
So over a 3-second advantage that Williams takes into the second half here. Brodie Williams bronze medalist at the British Championships last year. Was silver here last year. Not that we give medals out, we give money out, but second place. Does seem that Sharanek is coming back at him a bit. So let's see whether he can cut the gap. 2:40.23, so was a 3-second gap. It's still a 3-second gap, but he's maybe taken a few tenths out of it in the first half of the breaststroke. But you think he probably needs to do more in the second half. He is, though, starting to work it down.
It's an excellent turn there from Mark. Breaststroke to breaststroke, just what we talked about previously, swimming the strokes in a negative split fashion and beginning to eat strongly into Brodie Williams' lead now as they approach the last leg.
So who's going to be stronger on freestyle, do you think?
Mark should be. His PB for freestyle is better than Brodie's, but Brodie's a strong, fit swimmer. This is not a bad event for him, and he'll do very well to hold Mark off in this freestyle leg.
Well, he's still got over 2 seconds of a buffer in place, and that's a lot to try and pick up in a 100. So Sharanek has got it all to do now. It's looking pretty good for Brodie Williams. We'll see whether he has taken that down a bit more as we come to the final length. Through they go. 3:49.21 plays 3:51.4, so it's still over 2 seconds. Looking at the juniors, it's still Charlie Hutchison ahead of Angus Ellison. Remember the time he's got to beat 4:33.93, so we'll keep an eye on that. But it is going to be a win here for Millfield's Brodie Williams. He is never really threatened by Mark Sharanek at all, so a good victory for here. He turned second place last year into a win this year. 4:18.77. That's only 4 tenths away from Max Litchfield's meet record, so very impressive when you think about the quality of swimmer that Max is.
No question about it. I think that's actually the fastest time in Britain this year.
Wow.
Duncan, Scott and Max Litchfield have swum the 4 IM around about the 4:19, 4:20 mark, but that's a excellent form indicating swim by Brodie, and Mark will be pretty happy with this 4:21 workout too, I'm sure.
So Riley third, and that time from Charlie Hutchison 4:27.62. That was faster than the junior final, so he will be top junior. But very nice work, Brodie Williams. Great start to this evening's proceedings. Next up, we've got women's 800 freestyle. This is the fastest heat. So we'll see how this one works out. The lineup here, we've got some youngsters here. Kaylin Hall of Aberdeen Performance in lane 1. Next to her, more experienced swimmer from City of Glasgow, Katie Taylor, and Nicole Ryan of City of Oxford. A trio of Ellesmere College swimmers. Lauren Wetherell, the Scot, in lane 4 with the fastest entry time. Amelia Rodd beside her, and then Phoebe Griffiths. Rebecca Reid from Aberdeen is in lane 7, and Olivia Mason, another youngster from Warrender, in lane 8. 2 16-year-olds this year in the outside lanes. It does look like Ellesmere College are going to be very strong here. .16 lengths off the pool. So we're starting off with the tough races, aren't we, Alan?
Certainly are. You need to be tough on a 3-day meet to swim all these multiple events back to back, including the skins for some people. Real test of stamina and resilience.
I guess not too many of these 800 girls will be swimming skins, though.
Not tonight.
Not tonight, no. On the back of this, Lauren Wetherell off to a pretty good start in lane 4. She's got the clear lead, 30 seconds dead at the 50. As part of the Scottish Swimming Performance Programme, Gold Squad was a finalist in the British Championships last year and part of the European Juniors team for Britain last summer. Swam this event, was 8th. And she is up by more than a body length already, 102 dead. So keeping it nice and easy for us, 30 dead and 102 dead. Can work the maths.
Even I can do those splits, Duncan, without my calculator. Yeah, she always makes a strong, smooth start. Lauren imposes herself on the race right from the beginning, irrespective of the field she's up against. She does have the fastest entry time here, so you would expect her to win. It's how much she can win by.
And Ellesmere College will maybe just fancy their chances of a 1-2-3 here, because Phoebe and Amelia currently are in second and third, just ahead of Nicole Ryan, the City of Oxford swimmer, in lane 3. She has Katie Taylor with her as well in lane 2. So that's your top 5 as we come down towards 200. Nice diagonal there with just Lauren Wetherell not playing ball with that diagonal across the pool. She's well out of sync there, clear in the lead. Let's see if she can go bang on a second here. 2:08.20, so still giving us no hundredths to have to worry about, so thanks, Lauren.
I feel they're pretty well spread out. A couple of juniors flanking everyone else, doing battle for the junior title. Not to forget about them. Kaelin Hall looking the stronger of the two just at the moment.
There's not too much between them there in the lane 1 and lane 7. They'll be trying to just stay on the coattails of these older swimmers. Hope that pushes them along. Certainly a good scrap going on for second here. Phoebe and Amelia, who will know everything there is to know about each other's skills and strengths. So they're going at it well, but Lauren is nicely clear of them. At 300 meters, she goes through 3:15.18. So about a 67 there, just under. Would you expect this pacing just to slip a little bit in this middle section, then maybe pick it up again towards the end, or how? Particularly again, given they're unrested.
Yeah, I think ideally you want to swim these distance races even pace or again negative split if possible, but that's tough to do at this stage of training, particularly in Lauren's case when this is effectively a time trial for her. So it's how far ahead she can be, how much she can push this using her own sense of pacing. She's a distance swimmer, she's a specialist in this area, so she was finding it tough. She's probably just going to drift up from that 66.98 on the last 100 as she approaches the halfway mark.
So Scotland just in the last couple of years has struggled to find, since Camilla Hattersley retired I suppose, a really quality female distance swimmer. I think Lauren might be it.
Well, I certainly think she's pole position for that at the moment. She's done well as a junior at that sort of transitioning stage this year and next as she leaves school and embarks on her post-school career. And we're very keen to make sure that we do have some potential distance swimmers in the sport, training in Scotland, and have some plans. People keep their eyes and ears open for some distant camps to stimulate some interest, inspire some youngsters to be some good quality distance swimmers.
So that sounds intriguing. I think everyone will be very interested to hear about them when the plans come to fruition.
Normal service is resumed, yes indeed. There was a plan for one after snags, but we won't talk about that just at the moment.
What snags?
Yes indeed.
So we are now coming to 500. I don't think there's any question about who's going to win this one now. Still very much battle on for second. 5:28.76. So what's that? 66.8, something like that.
Yeah, she's going along very nicely indeed. I was having a conversation with her coach Alan Butcher and a couple of other coaches about how to cultivate and promote distance swimming. So there's one or two good ideas I think around the sport. I always say the colour of the medals for the 800 free are the same as the colour of the medals for the 100 free.
Yep, definitely are. You have to work harder to get them.
Well, differently.
Differently, okay.
Differently.
Okay. For a longer time, anyway.
That's for sure. And Lauren showing that she's prepared to do that work. This is a nice swim from her.
Still that race going on the right of your screen there. No quarter being given between Amelia and Phoebe. It's certainly looking pretty good for her. Ellesmere College 1, 2, 3. Titans by name, Titans by what they do in the pool.
Very good. You've been saving that one up, haven't you?
So 200 to go, 6:35.54. As you said, now got into a nice rhythm, churning out these 66 and change. So another couple of those would be 8:47-ish, and then maybe dock a little bit off for a sprint. You're talking about, I think, Lauren improving on her entry time of 8:49. So that would be good if she could do that. That was the time she did at Euro Juniors last summer. So if she could do that unrested here, and that of course would have been her target meet of last season. So we're looking at something really quite good here.
Very encouraging for her in this middle part of the season, heading into when she would have had some rest and opportunity to swim fast in the national competitions. I'm sure she and Alan will be very pleased with her progress on this.
So she takes the bell. 7:42.87. Just over 67 that time. So now it would be interesting to see what she's got left in the tank, and see still Amelia and Phoebe hard at it there in the race for second, right at the left of your screen. You can just see them on the edge of the shot, but we're focused there as our cameraman struggles to try and keep the top three in one camera. Just about managing it. Well done, guys. Coming up to the final turn then. 8:16.55. So can she really now get her head down and motor? Looked like Amelia maybe just getting a slight edge on Phoebe as they turn for the final time. But for the moment, let's focus on Lauren Wetherall. She's into her last half length here. Is she looking up a little bit weary? Well, she's entitled to be, I guess, at this stage. But let's see if she can really work it down these last few meters and find some extra pace at this last stage. She's going to be pretty much on her entry time, 8:49.48. So that was brilliant. She took half a second off that time she did at Euro Juniors. Now who's going to get second? It's going all the way. What a titanic battle between those two girls. Just goes to Amelia over Phoebe. Brilliant stuff from those two. Both getting under the 9 minutes as well. So Phoebe in particular, that's certainly a PB for her. She was entered 9:04. So she'll be pleased with that. Amelia, well, there or thereabouts against her entry time, just outside it, as our remaining swimmers come in. Just looking at the juniors, it was Kaylin Hall from lane 1. Now you can see confirmation then, 9:07.02. So nice swim from her as well.
I think that's a personal best time.
Certainly, just looking at her entry time here, which I'm struggling to find. Here it is, 9:10, so yes. So nicely done for her. So Lauren Wetherall, our winner. Kaylin Hall, our top junior. So start of our sprints. So we start with juniors before we go to the skins. Men's 50 backstroke first. And then women's 50 backstroke. Certainly for the men, there are no juniors in the skin, so this will decide who is top junior. Hemmings 26.97, the fastest in the heats. The pool swimmer, go through the lineup for you. Alfie Scott of Newcastle. 2 from City of Glasgow, Conor Massey and Mark Ford in lanes 2 and 3. Then we've got Robbie Hemmings of Poole, the fastest qualifier. Matthew Cairns of Newcastle. Alexander Harris from Stirling Swim. Then 2 from Stockton, William Ellis in 7. Tom Ward in 8. There's the lineup on your screen. And they're just waiting for the referee to set them on their way. The whistle goes. These junior finals have been really competitive, and I don't think this one will be any different, although having said that, Hemmings had a half-second advantage in the heat, so in context of a 50, that's quite a lot.
Good start from Mark Ford. Nicely up and into a stroke, into a very good lead over the first 25 metres.
So he is just about edging it, is he? Well, maybe now. Ooh, it's going to be close, but Ford and Hemmings in together, and it was Hemmings just edged it by the skin of his teeth. 26.86. 26.88 for Ford. 200ths the gap. Close one. Well, we said it would be close. They're nice. What a wobbled. I should have stuck to my guns. Cairns third. 27.23. And here come the junior girls. Got some very strong Scots juniors in this one. Ellie Turner, Perth City goes in 1. Holly McGill of Hearts in 2. Amy Shields of Mulgai and Bearsden in 3. Katie Shanahan of City of Glasgow in 4. Anna Green of Warrender in 5. Lucy Lucas of East Lothian in 6. Delphine Little of City of Oxford in 7. Jacqueline McMillan of Carnegie in 8. So 7 Scots, fastest of whom was Katie Shanahan, 30.35.
Probably turning that to her feet on a 200 backstroke at trials. Not renowned as a sprinter, Katie, but a very strong and very smooth backstroke swimmer.
Yes, Hannah Green has had a very strong start to this season. In lane 5, she was just 900ths behind Katie Shanahan, and lane 3, Amy Shields starting very nicely, but Shanahan getting into her stroke now. Looks like she's got a slight edge in lane 4. This one again is pretty close. Anna Green in lane 5, not that far away, but Shanahan just edging it as we come down to the final 5. It looks like it is going to be the City of Glasgow swimmer in the end by about a metre in 29.92, so she takes 4/10 off her time from the heats. So nice stuff from her. Came in on 29.98, so improves that by 600ths. Anna Green second, Amy Shields was third. Do have some juniors in the skins event for the girls, and of course it's what they'll do in the first round of the skins that will decide whether they are faster than that time from Katie Shanahan. And after that it's all about surviving through the rounds. That's coming up now. We'll bring both the men and the women onto the poolside together. The men will be off first, followed by the women. So a reminder of the rules here. They go for it as fast as they can in the first round because there's cash prize. The top 6 will progress through into round 2. Then we'll lose another 2 to go to 4, and then we'll lose 1 to go to 3, another 1 to go to 2, and they will go head-to-head in the centre lanes to decide the winner. So to win it, you've got to do it 5 times. First time coming up for the men. It's Joseph Small in 1 for Swansea, Luke Greenbank of Loughborough in 2, Liam White of Swansea in 3, Joe Litchfield, Loughborough National Centre in 4, Scott Gibson of Edinburgh University in 5, Martin Woolton of the University of Stirling in 6, Perry Gardner also from University of Stirling in 7, Harry Turner is in lane 8 for Swansea University. So they'll go off first, and then it'll be the women. They will interleave through the different rounds. Of course, you might have seen some skins in the ISL. It was a good part of the ISL, wasn't it? It was quite exciting seeing some of those skins.
It was.
With those really classy athletes.
Yeah, it starts as a test of speed and it ends as a test of speed endurance.
So away they go. Joe Litchfield, the fastest in the heats, and he's off to a good start here in lane 4. He'll be looking to set a good pace here.
Got great underwater skills, really sets him apart from everyone else in the field.
And it does look like he is going to take the cash prize for round 1. Let's check on the time, 25:32. That is a new Edinburgh International meet record here. So brilliant stuff.
Nice swim in second place from Scott Gibson from the home club. It's Edinburgh University, 25.6 is either at or just under his best time.
Bit of a surprise to see Luke Greenbank going out there in the first round. Obviously 200 is his thing more than a 50, but perhaps just didn't really want to play.
Well, clearly not quite as sharp as some of these others who are more renowned as sprinters. But yeah, I think he would have expected to at least had the chance to take them on speed endurance, but sadly not the case.
So the women now going: Lotta Upan of University of Stirling, Emily Crane of Loughborough, Jessica Fuller-Love of Bath National Centre, Kathleen Dawson of University of Stirling, her teammate Cassie Wilde, Tati Tostavin, one of the juniors from Millfield, and the other Emma Russell. And of course we see Charlotte Evans making her return to the pool up at the top there, lane 8, after that swim-off victory at the beginning of the session. So Kathleen Dawson and Cassie Wilde have both looked pretty sharp this weekend so far, the two Stirling girls. And it looks like Dawson has the edge in lane 4. She's up for winning the prize money here. Wilde is not giving it up though. The two Stirling girls are going to be first and second here, but it looks like Dawson has enough in hand to take the win. Check on the time, 28:07, and that is another Edinburgh International meet record. Beat a Mio Nielsen record. That is some going, isn't it?
It's good company to be in, Duncan. Very good company, and pretty close to her own Scottish record as well.
Yep, her Scottish record stands 27.92, so she was only 15 hundredths away from that. So we lose to Charlotte Evans. She's got a second swim, but she doesn't get a third. So she goes out along with Emily Crane. So we go to the second round now, so there'll be 6 swimmers. They don't get the normal whistles. They'll get a 10-second warning, and then the next thing they'll hear will be the starting signal. So that's the 10-second warning just went now, so you can see they get themselves ready, but they won't know exactly when that is going to go. And away they go, and some were better prepared than others there.
Indeed. Still a great underwater start from Litchfield. Shows the importance of that 5th stroke, as we call it. Being able to swim on your back, on your side, or indeed on your front fast on dolphin kicking.
Scott Gibson was the one that got a poor start, but he is pushing on here to try and recover from it, and I think he's going to survive to fight again. Litchfield once again takes the win. That's his second win in round 2. And just looking at the ones who will go out, it's Gardner and Turner who fall at the second hurdle. So it is very much going to seeds here with the 4 centre lanes, I mean the ones that stay in.
We're looking at the body language, not in shot on the live stream, but as the swimmers walk up and down the pool to the other end, you can see the swimmers who are surprised and the ones who are shocked at having survived and ready to go again. Emma Russell had some great swims last night in the freestyle, and she looked distinctly shocked to be going again.
Well, I guess for the juniors, it was a bit of unknown territory, I guess. They weren't just swimming skins, certainly at this level. And Emma Russell probably best known as a freestyler, not a backstroker, so nice to see what she can do here.
Effectively, swimming is a race. It's about competing. So racing, whether it's skins or whether it's an individual events, is really what it's all about. And Emma Russell got a great start there. Fantastic,
so away they
experienced
go.
or not.
Lane 3, Jessica full of love. Perhaps I'm not sure the Sterling swimmers are terribly interested in this one, particularly Kathleen. She did the job with that meet record in the first round. She's saying, right, I think I've had enough now. And I think it might be her and her teammate Lotta Upan who will go out. Let's just see, certainly Kathleen's out.
The result of that is Emma Russell has another swim.
And Upan also out. Emma Russell and Tati Tostevin, the two juniors, still in there.
Now watch Emma Russell's body language again. She's looking at the scoreboard thinking, really? I have to go again?
Yeah. I think Kathleen knew exactly what she was doing there.
Yeah.
So blast it with a very nice swim in the first round. So right, okay, hang out my goggles now. Third round coming up now for the men. 4 left. We'll just lose the one this time.
No mistakes from the men that time. All took their marks very early.
But quite a big contrast in how fast they went off the ball. Again, Scott Gibson was a bit sluggish off the ball there and has got some work to do in the second half. Litchfield again looking very comfortable. You have to now put him as a pretty heavy favourite for this skins unless he really does run out of steam, which I don't think is something Litchfields tend to do. 27.02, so another cracking swim from Joe. And fourth place is Scott Gibson. He had a good go to try and recover there from not a great start, but in the end it was too much and he just lost it out from just around about a 10th. So the 4 left now for the women. Lane 3, Jessica full of love. Cassie Wild in 5, Tostevin in 6, Russell in 7. So we're just waiting for the whistle. There it goes. So they get into position. Is it harder in backstroke skins than the other events? 'Cause not great to hold that for a long time, isn't it? You don't want to have to hold that position for too long.
You definitely do not. That isometric tension in the arms and the top of the legs is not an easy thing to do for any length of time, far less 10 seconds.
So Full of Love and Wild look to be the ones setting the pace in. Tostevin and Russell are the ones who are battling to get into the final 3. I think it's going to be Cassie Wild winning this leg. Although not much between her and Full of Love as they come in 30-39. It was just Cassie Wild, and fourth place this time is Emma Russell. So she is done for tonight. Made it through to the third round, so you have to be pretty pleased with that. So it'll be Wild, Full of Love and Tostevin in, if you like, the semi-final. 3 men left. Oh, very stylish entry to the water from Mr. Litchfield there. Lane 3, Liam White playing it cool, just staying out for a little bit longer.
I don't think there'll be any doubt about who's going to win this. I think the girls' race will be very cleanly contested right through to the finish.
So White, Litchfield and Walton. And again it's Joe Litchfield, as he has done with every round, making the pace. And the others play catch up. Looks like it might be Martin Walton who'll be joining him in the final 2. I think Leon White is just about done. No problems once again for Litchfield, just smooth as silk in there, just doing what he had to do to stay out of trouble. And it is going to be Martin Walton joining him in the final 2. Leon White goes at the second last round. So Joan Litchfield, you'd fancy, probably will make it 5 wins out of 5 through the heats and will take the title. But let's see now, Full of Love, Wild and Tostevin. Who would you fancy as the endurance backstroker? And I suppose you really have to be looking at Full of Love and Wild here.
I think so. My money overall, I think, will be on Cassie Wild. She's not a fan personally of the tuna backstroke, but we all think she's got a great tuna backstroke in her somewhere, sometime, and she has gone 2:08 short course, which is a pretty decent time. So I think she'll progress here and then win the final itself.
So let's see. All pretty decent starts from the 3 of them. They come out of the start. It does look like Wild has the edge. She won the last round. Looks like she might win this one. Full of Love. It's not that far ahead of Tostevin. So it look like it's the 2 favourites though who are going to progress through, and Full of Love now coming up alongside Wild as they come into the wall, and in fact just edging it, Full of Love. And it will be Full of Love versus Wild. I don't really think it mattered too much who won that one. There was just 200s in it. The key thing was that they were comfortably ahead in the end of Tati Tostevin. So well done, Tati. Good sequence of swims there. She's out, and we're down to the final 2. So the men up first. They move into the centre lanes now. So Litchfield stays in his lane 4, and Martin Walton moves into lane 5 from lane 6 where he was. So he'll be, I'm sure, going to try and give it everything he can. He's a gutsy swimmer, Martin Walton, always gives everything for the cause, but well, it's a big ask to try and topple Joe Litchfield, who has dominated through every round. Won the first round pretty and look at that. Well, I think we know who's going to win this already.
I think we do. I think we did. Martin looked absolutely dead on his feet walking up the poolside between these 50s, and you're right, he always gives his best, but on this occasion Joe Litchfield's best is good enough to win the skins.
So he's coming in pretty strong in this last leg, and 26.67, that's a commanding performance. And well, hats off, Joe Litchfield won every round, and in the end, well, a comprehensive winner of the men's 50 backstroke skins. Big congratulations to him.
Just as well, the scoreboard there doesn't show the swimmers. Martin Walton looks like he needs some oxygen. Wow, he is absolutely dead on his feet. Puffing,
do you think he can get out of the pool before these 2 get to the end? I hope so.
I think he'll have to. Wow, he is
so here we go then. Full of Love moves into 4. Wild stays in her lane 5. This should be very tight, I think, between these 2. So you wouldn't expect it to be a blowout like the men was.
No, this will be tight, but if I was a betting man, which of course I am not and not allowed to be, I would I put a jelly baby on Cassie to win.
Okay. High roller, you.
Yeah.
Let's see as they come out of the start. It does look like Wild just getting into a stroke slightly, and it gave her a slight advantage, but well, this is a tight one to call at this stage. Does look like Wild is coming through. That jelly baby is looking pretty safe here. She's up by a metre. She's going to take it, so it is Wild. 29.56 for her final leg, so well done, Cassie. So honours shared, really, I guess, between the Sterling pair. Kathleen Dawson taking the money from the first round, Cassie Wild taking the overall skins title. Well done, Jessica Full of Love, though. Pushed her all the way through the rounds. 30.07 for her, just half a second back. But our skins champion for the women's 50 backstroke from University of Stirling, Cassie Wild. So we do have more skins to come later on this evening. 2 sets of skins on a Saturday night. But it's 100 breaststroke will be next up. Well, this is one to set the juices going. We start off with the juniors. Got some really talented juniors coming along here. The fastest of whom is second swim, 400 IM. Well, will that be in his body still? George Smith in lane 4 here.
It certainly will. You'll have some down a long way. Well, that was a tough ask to back up that 400 IM with this 100 breaststroke.
The line-up here, Greg Fairbairn will go in lane 1 for Bellshill Sharks. Dan Kinsella of Warrington Warriors in lane 2. Andrew Arthur of Aberdeen in 3. Then we have George Smith of Ellesmere College. Lane 5, Liam Murphy of first. 2 Oxford swimmers, Kenji McDade in 6, Logan Bryan in 7, and Max Wass of Cossacks City of Stoke team in lane 8. So there is confirmation of the lineup on your screen. 2 lengths of the pool, of course, this time. We mentioned George Smith, 106.66 in the heats, but that 400 IM. Next fastest, Liam Murphy of first, with the Kelpies on his hat. Just a bit of a pause as they eye each other up, or not, as the case may be. Some like to have their back to their main rival, some like to give them the stare.
We talk about being in the arena, and it certainly can be gladiatorial at times.
So off they go. So down the first length, there's not too much in it. Looks like Max Wass has a good start up in lane 8. Lane 2 as well. Dan Kinsella. I think it might be Dan is going to turn first. He does, 30.64. On his left-hand side, the Bellshill swimmer Greg Fairbairn. Maybe challenging for second anyway. There's a whole mix of them in the mix there, still up there. Here's Max Wass on the far side of the pool, but it's Dan Kinsella is the one that they've got to play catch-up to. Here comes a late charge from George Smith in lane 4. Can he find something in these last few meters? I think he's going to get second, but he's not going to catch Kinsella. Kinsella takes it. Nice swim from the Warrington swimmer. 106.37, nearly 2 seconds faster than he was in the heats. Smith second. So pretty much the same time as he swam this morning. So that's a pretty good effort on the back of the 400 IM. And it's Kenji McDade, one of the 2 Oxford swimmers, taking third. One more junior to come. He was the winner of the junior title in the 200 breaststroke yesterday, William Ellington. He goes in this B final for Millfield in lane 1, just out of your shot at the moment. He's just standing back a little bit, shy of the cameras. We've got Conor Bryan of City of Oxford in lane 2. Lewis Fraser of Swansea University in 3. Archie Goodburn of Loughborough National Centre in 4. Daniel Lim of Edinburgh University in 5. James McFadden of Loughborough University in 6. George Hopkins of Swansea University in 7. And Kyle Boyack from Stirling University in 8. 104 is the fastest in the heats here.
It was a tough ask to make the open final.
Archie Goodburn, another member of the Scottish performance squad scene, all the way through the age groups with Warrender, now has made his way down to Loughborough. He's had a few months down there now, so he'll be looking to put in a strong B final swim here. Going nicely in lane 7 is Hopkins. Well, I think it is going to be Goodburn turning first, 29.28 for him. Second place was George Hopkins, third Lewis Fraser at the turn. Good burn with a metre or so of an advantage here. Third at British Universities. He was the British summer champion. And he is looking like he's going to take this one. No one's going to get close to him. He's about 1.5 metres up. Let's see what the time is. 1:03.07. So about a second faster than he was earlier. And taking it by 3/4 of a second over Lewis Fraser second, James McFadden third.
Not so much about times this weekend for the bigger lads, much more about process, about executing the race plans. That's encouraging from Archie. I don't think he's gone faster than that this season. He took command of the race right from the start, which is his preference. I had a good chat with him in Ireland a couple of weekends ago at the McCullough meet. Really settled in nicely to his new home at Loughborough University, enjoying his studies and absolutely loving training alongside the likes of James Wilby as part of Dave Hemming's squad at Loughborough National Centre.
And it looks like men in black coming out here on this open final. We've got the big guns here. Edward Baxter goes for Loughborough National Centre in lane 1. 2 is David Murphy at Loughborough National Centre. 3, Ross Murdoch of the University of Stirling. Lane 4, Adam Peaty of Loughborough National Centre. Lane 5, James Wilby of Loughborough National Centre. Craig Benson in 6 from the University of Stirling. Nicholas Quinn of Edinburgh University in 7. And Adam Chillingworth, Plymouth Leander in lane 8. So Peaty in 4, Wilby in 5, Murdoch in 3, Benson in 6. Can you ask for any more?
Well, I think in terms of depth, in terms of quality across all 8 lanes, this is the class event of the weekend.
So it'll be very interesting to see how fast Peaty can go here. Cam Wilby run him close. He looked very good in the 200 yesterday. What can Murdoch and Benson do? We're about to find out. Very quickly into a stroke was Wilby in lane 5, but PT just edging it at the moment. Ross Murdoch off to a decent start in lane 3, so he's pretty much alongside Wilby, just a 1/2 metre or so behind PT as we come up to the halfway turn. Telling you PT's split was 27.69 this morning. It's 27.12 tonight. So he has the advantage, and it's hard to see anybody catching him now. The question is, how fast will he go in this second half? Still a battle on between Wilby and Murdoch for second spot, but it looks like Wilby is winning that one. But it's PT then, with 15 metres to go, about 1.5 metres clear of James Wilby. These are going to be 1 and 2, with PT coming, hammering in to the wall, taking it and stretching in 58.13. That is a new Edinburgh International meet record there, improving by about 6/10 on the record he set last year. So really impressive stuff. Under the minute as well for James Wilby, 59.48, and Murdoch taking third, 1:00.68 ahead of his training partner Craig Benson. Well, did that live up to your hopes?
As predicted, yeah, a world-class field and a world-class race on that men's 100 breaststroke. He never ceases to impress. Adam Peaty, watched him warming up in the diving pit before the session started. Complete focus, completely confident in what he needs to do to produce times like that, and I'm sure he and Coach Mel Marshall will be very, very pleased with that as an evening's outing for Adam Peaty.
I'm
very
assuming
that will be too.
I'm assuming that will be his fastest time this season, is it?
Yeah, it's faster than he went in Ireland. In fact, faster than, sorry, for James as well, and faster for Ross. So all 3 guys showing great form heading into the Olympic selection trials.
So on now to women's 100 butterfly, the junior final out at the blocks. We've got Ella Mcnamara from Poole, Erin Donnelly of Borough Stockton. 3 is Natalie Jones of Warrender. Lauren Patterson goes for City of Glasgow in lane 4. Melody Jones of Borough Stockton in 5. Delphine Little in lane 6 for City of Oxford. 7 is Eve Corrigan of Warrender, and lane 8 Alice Mackey from Heart of Midlothian. Fastest here, 105.11, Lauren Patterson. Again, we've got more juniors to come, couple in the B final. So then Lauren has to set a fast time here. Certainly in the mix there in the centre lanes, along with Melody Jones in lane 5, Natalie Jones in lane 3, and also going pretty well in lane 1 is Ella Mcnamara. Certainly seen some strong swims from the pool contingent this weekend. Strong outfit down on the south coast.
Yeah, doing really well. Very distinctive in their yellow and black outfits, and going extremely well in this girls junior final. But out in front is the winner of the junior final last night in the 200 fly is Melody Jones of Borough Stockton.
And it's going to be a dear thing, although pretty close at the end. Lauren Patterson was coming right back at her, but just ran out of pool. 103.99 against 104.02, 300, small margins. But Melody Jones, really, I guess it was in that sort of, from the turn up to about 80 metres, she really sort of pushed it hard, and then maybe just struggled a little bit in the closing stages.
Very rate-oriented swimmer, so many more strokes than her opposition, but it paid dividends for her there. Got her hands on the wall just ahead.
B final now out on the blocks. Krista Wilson, she's one of the remaining juniors, goes for Borough Stockton in lane 1. Emily Ford of City of Oxford in 2. The second junior, Maisie Elliott of Plymouth Leander, is in lane 3. Kira Morris of Millfield in 4. Yasmin Perry in 5 for Aberdeen Performance. Yvonne Brown of East Kilbride in 6. Katie Robertson of Edinburgh University in 7. And Katharina Price of Bath University is in lane 8. 102s to 104s the range of times here. So the juniors have to beat that 103.99. Krista and Maisie. Maisie was faster than that earlier.
Again, it was very competitive to make the open final, so these girls capable of swimming 60-61 at their best. Let's see what they can do. Kira Morris just ahead of Yasmin Perry, a notorious fast starter, first 50 swimmer on the 100 butterfly.
Well, very close there as they come to the wall. There's going to be about 6 of them all turning together. Let's see who gets the touch. It's Yasmin, 29.16. Let's see whether she can hold that in the second half. Came out of the turn, still ahead in lane 5 there. White cap, and she's maintaining that lead quite nicely now. But they're still pretty close to her. Lane 6 is starting to look good. Yvonne Brown rather. So it's looking like it might be between these two. And Yvonne Brown is finishing very strongly here, the East Kilbride swimmer. Oh, that'll be warmth to the heart of Mr. Andy Figgins, I would think. He'll have loved that one. 101.86 for Yvonne. Came into the meet on the 102.2.
Best time for her. Timed it perfectly, and you could see the other swimmers were deteriorating both in terms of speed and strokes down the last 15 metres, whereas Yvonne's stroke integrity and indeed stroke counting was spot on to finish right on the end of her stroke. She looks absolutely thrilled with that personal best time. First thought was to turn around and a big smile to coach Andy Figgins. Maisie
Elliott was faster than Melody Jones from the junior final, so she'll be the top junior. Well done to her. As we come now to the open final. In lane 1 from the University of Stirling, Kiana McInnes. In lane 2 from Edinburgh University, Tane Bruce. 3 is Charlotte Atkinson from Loughborough University. 4, the winner of the 200 butterfly yesterday, Laura Stevens from Plymouth Leander. In lane 5, it's Harriet West of Loughborough National Centre. Emily Large of Newcastle Swim Team goes in lane 6. Alcaraz from Aberdeen Performances in 7, and Kate Mills from Loughborough University in lane 8. 59.37, 59.57, 59.87, the three fastest this morning. Laura Stevens certainly looked very impressive in the 200 fly yesterday. Can she do the double here?
I think so. She's looking in great shape, and she's been swimming extremely well this season. Of course, we're missing Alice Thomas from the meet this weekend, who will be a big rival to all of these girls to make that Olympic Games team for Great Britain. Bit slow to take her marks there, Laura Stevens, not the quickest of starts.
Yeah, she was a bit like that in the 200 as well, I think. Just took a little while to settle into it, but once she did, watch out. And looks like maybe the same thing is happening here. Harriet West certainly was the first as they went past the 25 markers, but now Laura is alongside her, and also going well. Charlotte Atkinson in lane 3. That's your leading 3 at the turn, 27.72. The touch with Harriet West narrowly, just 100th in it at the turn there. Out of the turn, that was a nice turn from Harriet as well. So starts and turns seem to be what's doing it for her at the moment, and well, the others are having to play catch up now. It looks like it might be Harriet is going to be the winner of this one. Came in on a 59.25, her time from last British Championship. She was close to that in the heats and smashing it this evening, 58.65. Well, she'll be delighted with that, you would think. Over half a second faster than the best time from last season.
She will be delighted, and so she should be. She really took the race by the scruff of the neck from the start. Laura Stevens put herself in a difficult position with that slow take the marks position and slow off the blocks. Great swim last night, but a bit of work to do obviously on those racing skills ahead of the bigger championships to come.
Yeah, but certainly that seemed to be the difference for Harriet. It's a good start, but an even better turn. But it's the men's 200 butterfly now. We start off with the junior final. The line up here as we scroll across the screen. We've got Marcus Scullion in lane 1 for Portsmouth North Sea. Lane 2 is Kenji McDade of City of Oxford, his second swim of the night. Also a second swim for Mark Ford for City of Glasgow in lane 3. Aidan Brown of Borough of Stockton in 4. Matthew Cairns of Newcastle in 5. 2 more Stockton swimmers, William Baines in 6, Jacob Elwell in 7, and Maximilian Bolcato goes for City of Oxford in 8. So Stockton and Oxford well represented in this meet, two of them here.
It's the prize, I think, for the grandest name of the evening, Maximilian Bolcato.
Well, yep. 2:15 entry time for him, the slowest of the 8, so can he spring a surprise?
He's got a great start.
So
well away.
He's up at the top of your screen, lane 8. Good start as well in lane 3. Well, we saw that earlier in the backstroke from Mark Ford. A good start. And got a nice good start here in butterfly. I'm never really sure whether backstroke or butterfly is Mark's best event. He's good at both, isn't he?
He is, and he's pretty good at freestyle too. And work on his breaststroke would give him a very tidy 200 IM.
28.51 he leads at the 50. Looking at Marcus Scullion going nicely at the bottom of your screen there in the white cap. He's in the mix. Aidan Brown is gathering his forces. So in lane 6 is William Baines. And they're all lined up behind Mark now as we approach halfway. Mark, but a body length up though, 100.84.
That 50 backstroke will have been a nice primer for this 200 butterfly for Mark Ford. Smooth and controlled so far. Of course, at this stage of the season, second half of a 200 fly is a punishing schedule.
But if anything, he's building up his lead now. So looking good for this one. William Baines and Marcus Scullion are the contenders for second, I think. But although doesn't seem likely that they're going to get close to Ford now. 1:33.98, so paced about 33 for that third 50. So it did just drop a little bit from his pace on the second 50, but Well, he's got this one in the bag now and just needs to drive on and do what he can to maximise his time. Lane 6, William Baines looks set now for second place. Scullion just fading in the latter stages here, but it's Mark Ford, the City of Glasgow swimmer, dominating really from the start, and very nice work. 2:08.39 for him. Nice improvement from a 2:12 in the heats.
Paid for that pace a little bit on the last 50 there, Mark Ford. Leg kick not quite as strong down the last 30 or 40 metres or so. Something I'm sure for him and his coach Danielle Brayson to continue working on, but decent evening's work from Mark. Good improvement. I could probably be a little bit disappointed not to have made one of the other finals. It'd be too tough to make the open final, but certainly could have made this final if he'd been a bit sharper this morning.
So we go to the B final now with Jonah Walsh in lane 1 representing Edinburgh University, Isaac von Fintel of Leicester Penguins in 2, Mark Elric of City of Glasgow in 3, Rhys Ormond Cunningham of Loughborough University in 4, George Barber of City of Sheffield in 5, Jacob Greeno, Bath University in 6, Cole Hewitt, who is a junior, goes in lane 7 for City of Sheffield, and Adam Wilson of Newcastle swim team completes the field in lane 8. So Cole Hewitt has to get inside that 2:08.39, which would be an improvement of just over a second for him on his heat swim. The seniors, Rhys Ormond Cunningham, the fastest, 2:07. And this Rhys, I think, just with the early lead in lane 4. Finalist in British University's short course. Not too much in this one as we come up to the turn. No clear leader. It is Rhys Ormond Cunningham just with the touch, 27.87. Just looking at Cole Hewitt, split 28.47. That is just 400ths faster than Mark Ford's split, so that's going to be very close, I think, as to whether he can beat Mark Ford's time.
Indeed, and we do have a junior in the open final who's gone 2:04 this morning, so that's certainly a good standard to have set and got himself into the big final.
Yep, I missed that, so thanks for that. Keep me right. 59.81 as we go into the second half. This time it's Mark Elric into the front. He had a good second 50 there, the City of Glasgow swimmer, so we saw City of Glasgow with Mark Ford taking the junior final. Now Mark Elric trying to do the same with the B final, but he's got company on his left-hand side with Rhys Ormond Cunningham coming back strongly, along with George Barber in lane 5. Still going to be Elric at the 150. Just 132.90. We're talking hundredths now. But a good turn again. They've certainly keeping him well in the frame. But it's looking tough for him now. And I think George Barber maybe is the one who is coming through in the red cap of City of Sheffield. So he takes the win. It's going to be really close for second. And the board here at the venue is cleared very rapidly, and that usually suggests that there's a report coming in. So we'll just wait and see. And unfortunately, it is lane 2. Disqualification in lane 2. So George Barber does take the win, 2:06.39 from Rhys Ormond Cunningham and Mark Elric. Looking at that time for Cole Hewitt, 2:07.80. So that was faster than Mark Ford's time. So that will be the time for James Hart to try and beat.
Just as a point of reference for viewers as we approach the open final, world record broken. The great Michael Phelps world record at tuna fly was broken last year by Christoph Milak. The World Championships, 1 minute 50.7.
Think we'll be as fast as that tonight? Maybe not.
Maybe not tonight, but just gives an indication as to how fast the top swimmers in the world will do this tuna flying.
So this open final, we have Alex Watkinson in lane 1 for Warrington Warriors, Logan Fontaine captain of Vikings of Rouen in lane 2. James Hart, the junior from Plymouth Leander in 3. James Guy of the Bath National Centre goes in lane 4. Tom Bealey of Plymouth Leander in 5. Edward Rednich of University of Stirling in 6. Jamie Wilkes of Loughborough University in 7. Ben Harrison, also Loughborough University in 8. So James Guy, we saw him in the 200 free and the 100 fly yesterday, won the 100 fly pretty comfortably. Now trying to do the fly double. 200 was his heat time. It comes into this meet on a 156 that he did at last year's British Championships in Glasgow. Bronze medalist, of course, in December in the European short course. Shown some pretty useful form this weekend so far. Tom Bealey, the Scot, now based down in Plymouth, was the second fastest. 2:02 for him this morning. And it is Guy leading them out.
It's such a lovely stroke to watch when it's done well, as it is here by James Guy in lane 4. Of course, himself better known as a freestyler and former world champion. Latterly started to swim more butterfly, which he did as a youngster, and very much a part of the Great Britain Medley relay team when he swims the fly leg.
And he certainly seems to be taking fly much more seriously in the last year or so than you felt that it was his pleasure event up until maybe a year or two ago, but not anymore. 55.49. So that is just over a second faster than he was at the halfway mark this morning.
It's such a competitive event internationally, the men's 200 fly. Quite apart from Milak, who's the best there's ever been, there are a host of younger swimmers coming through. Berdiso from Italy, who swam at Mount Kelly, and of course Gianluca Orlando from America, who won World Junior Championships last year.
So as and when we have the Olympics, there may be some new faces setting the scene in this one. There's no doubt James Guy is the one setting the scene here. Completely dominant now, with Bealey clear in second and the race on for third. But here we go with James Guy. I can tell you the meet record stands at 157.64. I think that could be going. Yes, it is. 156.62. The Victor Bromer record has gone. So that's a nice sculpt to take. Nice swim from Bealey just on the 2-minute mark. He takes second, and it was Edward Rednich takes third place. The Romanian based in Stirling. So very nicely done. 156.62. Another meet record goes. We're seeing a good number of them going this weekend. Just shows the nick that our British swimmers are in, because it is largely, of course, a British field this year, with the problems with our international swimmers travelling across. So really good stuff there. Very, very well done.
It's a good benchmark this meet, because it's been occurring at the same time every year, and swimmers in whatever shape they're in at this point, you can refer back to meet records, personal best times, season best times, and this year it's been very, very encouraging for Team GB.
So this is women's 400 IM now, so we've got double dose of 400 IM for you tonight. Just junior final and open final. This is the junior, with Alicia Bain in 1 for Aberdeen Performance. Rachel Saunders of Warrender in 2. Holly Shand of Aberdeen Performance in 3. Drew Mackenzie of City of Glasgow in 4. Faye Mcdonough of Borough Stockton in 5. Nuala Gow of Geary in 6. Krista Wilson, Borough Stockton in 7. And Ellie Riley of Hearts in lane 8. Two swimmers did 5:06s in the heats. Drew Mackenzie and Faye Mcdonough. Again, we've got some juniors to come in the open final, 3 of them. So nothing will be decided here. In fact, we have an empty lane, lane 8, no Ellie Riley. So lanes 5 and 7 with the early lead. Mcdonough in 5, Wilson in 7. And getting into a stride, Drew Mackenzie. 3 15-year-olds in this field, 15 this year. Rachel Saunders in 2, Drew Mackenzie in 4, and Nuala Gow in 6. And at the moment it is Faheen Mcdonough and Krista Wilson up at the front, with Drew Mackenzie about a body length back on those two.
A special mention for shout out to Nuala Gow, part of a swimming family, swimming dynasty from Buckie in the northeast of Scotland, the Finisters. If you're watching, great to see the family tradition being kept up. Nuala's much better known as a breaststroker, and we'll see her come through, I'm sure, on that leg in a minute or so's time.
And she goes there in lane 6, so languishing a little bit at the moment, but as you say, you expect her to improve her ranking in this one when we get to breaststroke. But still, it is Faheen Mcdonough in lane 5, holding a body length advantage on Drew Mackenzie, who now has a little bit of an advantage on Krista Wilson. Drew Mackenzie making some progress in the backstroke here. Swimmer has moved across from West Lothian to City of Glasgow in the last year. Seems to be enjoying life over in Glasgow.
She is. She's part of a very strong and successful squad of young swimmers, led very capably by Danielle Brayson, who we mentioned earlier.
And she's got herself into a decent position here to mount an attack in the second half, as Mcdonough still leads, but only by, well, a metre at most. 2:25.42 and 2:26.05. Struggling, need new glasses, I think. See the scoreboard here in the venue. So let's see whether it does look like, if anything, Faheen Mcdonough is just building a lead in the breaststroke. This is where we need to see Nuala Gow moving up and see her there in lane 6. Still, well, moved up 1 place, I think, ahead of Alicia Bain now. Halfway through the breaststroke, and certainly Faheen Mcdonough's lead has increased by quite a bit. 3:08 against 3:13, so that's a massive change in the first half of the breaststroke, and really it's looking very good now for the Stockton swimmer. Stockton have had a really good weekend, haven't they? So some very good youngsters coming up to Edinburgh from there.
They really have, of course, a long, successful swimming history from Stockton, from that part of northeast England. Dave McNulty, head coach of Bath National Centre, himself a Stockton lad.
3:51.87 for Mcdonough. So really, you would think an unassailable lead now of something like 7 seconds. You can see that Nuala Gow did come up very nicely in the breaststroke. She's now in that mix for 3rd place. But it looks like it's going to be Mcdonough and Mackenzie 1 and 2 here. And then the battle for 3rd as Faheen Mcdonough. Final turn for her, 4:26.87. So that was around 35. So she's going to be just a little bit, maybe in 5 minutes or thereabouts. Wonder if she could get under the 5 minutes here. She'd really need to drive it hard down this last length to do that.
That's a nice threshold to break through. I think she's just going to fall short of that. Nonetheless, a strong, powerful swim from her out front.
Yeah, 5:01.47, pretty close to the 5:00 that she came into this meet on. It is 2nd place for Drew Mackenzie, 5:07 for her, and Holly Shand is the one who takes 3rd in what was a tight contest pretty much all the way through the race.
You can see in the faces of these young girls how tough it is to go 400 IMs full tilt in the one day, but good lessons learned, I'm sure. Lots of things to work on in training over the coming weeks.
And certainly they have to do that if they get to the final of the British Summer Championships. They have to do that, don't they? Heats and finals in the 400. So
They do, and they do it all the way up to the Olympic Games. It's usually, not this time, but usually day one, men's and women's 400 IM at Olympics, but of course, different programme this year.
So the open final is up now. Lana Brookhoven of Plymouth Leander is in lane 1. Yvonne Brown back in the water in lane 2 for East Kilbride. Amber Keegan goes for the City of Sheffield in lane 3. Amy Wilmot, the Commonwealth champion, goes to University of Stirling in 4. Katie Shanahan, the City of Glasgow in 5. Orla Adams of Aberdeen Performance in 6. Gaia Alcaraz, Aberdeen Performance in 7. Ellie Turner of Perth City in 8. And Hannah Miley swimming in the heats, obviously decided she didn't want a second swimmer here.
She's gone home, I understand, so maybe saving an energy or feeling a bit poorly, not entirely sure, but she's not here, she's done for the weekend.
Well, wish you all the best, Hannah, if you're watching. And we'll get a chance to see Amy Wilmot here. Would be a big favourite here, but it'll be very interesting to see how fast Katie Shanahan can go. Scottish junior record holder, took that very long-standing Hannah Miley Scottish junior record last year. That stands at 4:43.36. She also holds the meet junior record 4:51. I think that one certainly could be under threat. She did that last year here. But, well, Wilmot, you would think, would be the fancied swimmer here, 30:50. She holds the open Edinburgh International meet record, 4:35.84. She looked pretty good this morning.
She did, and she's been looking very good all season. In fact, Amy Wilmot back from some training in altitude at Flagstaff in Arizona.
So she will have a lead of about a body length after the butterfly, 1:04.19. Second place, Amber Keegan. Third, Katie Shanahan.
Yvonne Brown, after that PB in the 100 fly, disappeared straight into the swim down pool. So she's certainly going to feel it a little bit towards the second half of this race.
Yep, she's in the pack in their fourth place contest at the moment in lane 2. Behind Wilmot, Keegan and Shanahan. That's still the order halfway through the backstroke, although Katie Shanahan, we talked about her backstroke earlier, she's just edged into second in fact as they go through that turn. 1:40.17 the split on your screen there for Amy Wilmot, and her lead now up to 5 metres or so. But Shanahan having a good backstroke section to this IM. Great all-rounder, Katie Shanahan. Must be pretty excited about her as a prospect for the future.
Yeah, we don't get too excited about youngsters. We want to keep them involved in the sport for a long time, but certainly Katie, not just as a swimmer, but as a young person, is a terrific individual to have around the team, around the squad. She's a great dancer as well as a great swimmer, and she's a bit of a TikTok fiend as well. Do you know what TikTok is, Duncan?
I've heard about it. Yes, it's what clocks do, isn't it?
Not anymore.
Okay,
Not anymore.
okay. She's looking fairly secure in second place, but not as secure as Amy Wilmot is in the front of this race. Split 2:15.54 at the halfway stage, is around 4/10 faster than she was earlier.
It's about what she did, slightly slower than what she did in Bangor a couple of weeks ago. Really having to swim all of these races all on her own out in front, so great to see her digging in, putting the effort into these 400 IM time trials, and of course come the international events later in the season she'll have a lot more opposition.
Yes, she will. But she's got to take the opportunities where they come, and she's doing that here in Edinburgh. Coming up to the 300, she was 3:34 in the heat, so she's about a second up now, 3:33.49. Shanahan turning second. 3:40 for her. Third now is Orla Adams. Have any performance, but she's out of your shot at the moment. As you can see, the big distances between the leading swimmers. And final turn for Wilmot now, 4:06. So around about a 32.5 split there. So probably will not improve on her meet record of 4:35. But this is once again a good, strong, solid swim from Amy Wilmot. Well clear, nobody's touched her. Shanahan, good for second. She'll be the junior champion for sure. 4:37.54. So nicely done from Amy Wilmot. Shanahan coming in then. Let's check her time up against the junior meet record, and it is gone. 4:46.89, so taking 5 seconds off that meet record that she set last year. So Katie Shanahan came in on 4:43. That was the time from Euro Juniors last year. So she'll be happy with 4:46, you think?
Yeah, good swims out front by Amy and Katie. Season's best times, very encouraging and great to see them put that 400 IM shift in this evening alongside other swims over the weekend.
Orla Adams taking third, and a very stuffy fourth from Yvonne Brown, just back to back after that fly. So we go our second set of sprints now, and once again it's the junior finals up first. 50 freestyle for the men, 50 breaststroke for the women. The line-up for the men's junior final. Greg Fairbairn, well, is he there in lane one? I'm just looking across. Yes, he is. He's just back at the back of the blocks. Lane 2, Callum Atkinson of Newcastle, Rory McKinnon of Mulcahy and Bearsden in 3, Reed Jones of Plymouth Leander in 4, Benji Gillingham of Alnwick Dolphins in 5, Toby Laguda of Ellesmere College in 6, Miles Lapsley, City of Glasgow in 7, and Robbie Hemmings of Poole in 8. No juniors in the skins. This will decide who is the junior champion. Fastest by a reasonable margin, Reed Jones, about half a second faster than anybody else in the heat. 23.88, the 18-year-old from Plymouth. Plymouth having a very solid set of performances as well here this week. Probably Laura Stevens, their star performer. Let's see if Reed Jones can pick up a junior title for them. Off to a good start in lane 4. That straight arm of technique down, and it's what power he's showing here. He's absolutely dominating this one.
Ben Proudlike.
Yeah, it's obviously the way to go now for the sprinters. I think they see what success looks like, and well, that was good there, 23.60, so nearly 3/10 faster than he was in the heats. Very nicely done. So by some margin, Reed Jones will be the junior champion. So is that definitely a sort of something you encourage for a swimmer, just to have that straight arm, or does it not really matter what they do when the water's not, when the arm's not in the water?
It matters. It's really significant that swimmers are only using it on the 50 or towards the end of 100 or even a 200. Not unique and certainly not new. Michael Klim did it very successfully in the late 1990s, heading into the Sydney Olympics when he swam freestyle. But yeah, 50s and short sprints only.
So it's the women's junior final now. We've got Kirsty Wicklow in 1 for Mulcahy and Bearsden. 2 is Isabella Rennick of Millfield. 3, Thanrada McGregor of Carnegie. Lane 4, Anna Morgan of Millfield. Kira Davidson of Mulcahy and Bearsden in 5. Saskia Wade, City of Glasgow in 6. Ellen Bagley in 7 for City of Oxford. And Nuala Gal, well, no rest for her either. Straight out of a 400 IM into a 50 breaststroke.
They build them tough up there, Duncan. They build them tough.
Anna Morgan, the Scot based in Millfield, in the green cap, was the fastest in heats, 33.61. We do have a number of juniors going in the open final, so this won't decide it here, but Anna Morgan certainly looking good to take this race, up by a metre, maybe a metre and a half, pushing on as well. Second Millfield swimmer, Isabella Rennick. It looks like it's going to be Millfield 1 and 2 in this junior final. 33.13 for Anna. 33.86 for Isabella. And Kira Davidson taking third in 34.23.
So important to get the stroke count right. Finish on a full stroke. A little bit sloppy there on the finish from Anna as she took an extra half stroke into the wall, almost finished right with her tummy up against the touchpad. So some work for her and Ewan Dale, coach at Millfield, to do.
So skins coming out now. Men and women come out together. As we saw earlier, will be the men going off first. The 50 freestyle for the men. Sam Irvin will go in lane 1 for Loughborough University. 2 is Alex Bowen, Loughborough University. David Cumberledge, the Englishman based in Edinburgh University, is in 3. Then we've got the Northern Ireland swimmer, University of Stirling's Callum Bain, the fastest qualifier for these skins. Duncan Scott, who tied the Scottish record this morning, 22.45. He goes in lane 5. 6 is James Guy, his second set of racing here after that 200 fly. Ivo Staub in lane 7 for Plymouth Leander, and Jarvis Parkinson of Chelsea and Westminster in lane 8.
You might not have the light show of the ISL, but we certainly have the classy swimmers of the ISL, many of whom are starring here in this men's 50 free, bragging rights in the Stirling team and the Scottish team, indeed in the British team. Very much up for grabs.
Yes, Bain looked really sharp this morning. James Guy back off that 200 fly, so it'll be interesting to see what he does. Duncan Scott, you don't really think of him as a 50 man. Of course, he did do the skins in the ISL, didn't he?
Just at the start, he didn't get through.
Yeah, but it was a tough ask, the big boys he was up against there.
Yeah, well, it was.
So here we go, first round, reminder, there is money at stake to win this first round, and this is going to be a tight affair here. Lane 5, Duncan Scott maybe looking to take that Scottish record outright. Jack Thorpe has it shared with him at the moment. He's not here today, but it is 22.21, a new Scottish record for Duncan Scott in the first round here. Fantastic stuff from Duncan Scott. There's nothing this man can't do. Callum Bain second and Cumberledge third. I was so excited about that. I didn't even see who was 7th and 8th. Looks like it's Staub and Irvin looking at the screen on the venue here. So those two go, but well, 22.21, new Scottish record, take nearly over 2/10 off it.
Yeah, almost a quarter of a second off Jack Thorpe's record. So, yeah, a great tune-up event for Duncan. As you say, not known as a sprinter, but certainly very, very capable.
And you just saw when he was off the blocks there, they just really wanted to get that, and so sharp, electric off the blocks, really, wasn't he? But here are the women, and we've got Ilizam Pinfold, Katie Goodburn, Cara Hanlon, Sarah Vasey, and Harriet Evans, Fanny Lecluse, Mona McSharry, Laura Kinley. So what's going to happen in this one?
Well, Sarah Vasey certainly is the fastest in the field, and she should win this first 50. She's not a 200 swimmer, so if she does hang on to the end, she may come under pressure.
Mona McSharry is going well in lane 7, the Irish star. And in lane 4 is Sarah Vasey. So it looks like it's between these two. And I think Vasey just coming through now is going to take the first round. And she does in 31.12. Second place was McSharry and Hanlon in third. And it's Lecluse and Kinley who drop out. the two juniors there. Just looking down, it looks like Harriet Evans just touching out Katie Goodburn. It was pretty close between those two. 32.07. So that, just checking the time from the junior final, that was faster, so it will be Harriet, the fastest junior, and she still is there ready to go. But we've got the second round now for the men. So the 6 go, no lane 1, no lane 7. You would expect Duncan Scott now to get tactical if he's up for this one. He certainly looks up for it. Lane 5, so he's not doing a Kathleen Dawson, that's for sure.
Not a chance. He will want to win every single race he takes part in, and when he doesn't, he makes sure that he does everything he can to win the next one.
And of course, with his stamina that he has in some of these longer races, you would expect him to be able to keep this one going. 23.43 this time. Takes it by 8/10. Guy goes through, Cumberledge through, Bain through, Bowen and Staub are out. So 6 will become 4 now for the women. So we have no Lecluse, we have no Kinley. So we'll get maybe a sense from Sarah Vasey as to whether she is up for the long haul here.
Watch out for Cara Hanlon, not the fastest outright sprinter in the field, but certainly very strong over 200 breaststroke. So if she's still in it at the end, she may be the one to watch.
Mona McSharry was fantastic as a junior, and she's probably had a little bit of a stall in her career, and I'm sure that the coaching fraternity, our friends in Ireland, will be looking to bring her on strongly at the moment. So we'll see what she can do from lane 7. She certainly looked good in the first round. Well, they all want it, it looks like. Nobody is slacking here, which is good to see. Pushing on strongly, and it does look like McSharry is up there in lane 7. Lane 4 is the winner of the first round, Sarah Vasey. So she's definitely staying in for the distance here. I think Goodburn is going to be in trouble in lane 2. Who is going to be out with her? And the answer is Harriet Evans. So those two drop out in the second round. And we're left with McSharry, who won that second round, Vasey, Hanlon, and Pinfold from lane 1. So she's hanging in there nicely.
That's the big dogs.
Here come the big boys then. Cumberledge, Bain, Scott and Guy. They're, I think, the final 4 you'd want. Not any weakness whatsoever here.
By rights, you should see Duncan Scott and James Guy progress, but James said that's on the fly. 156 might just have taken the edge off him. Look out for Cumberledge or Bain here.
So away they go. And all going pretty hard at it. Guy in lane 6 perhaps is the, well, no, I think he's looking pretty good actually. Once again, it's Scott going out into the lead, and well, I think Cumberledge maybe has had enough with this. Bain ahead of him, so it's going to be Scott and Guy, 1 and 2. Oh, it was close at the end actually for third. Let's just have a look at that one. In fact, Cumberledge managed to sneak through by a 10th in the end. I thought he wasn't interested, and then suddenly quite interested in these last 10 metres.
He had such big long arms, he managed just to outstretch and out-touch Callum Bain there. So, three fast guys in the semi-final, as it were.
So 4 now to 3 for the women. Alazan Penfold is just out of his screen in lane 1. The cameraman didn't expect her to be there at this stage, but she is in lane 1. Hanlon in 3. Vasey in 4. McSharry in 7th. So 1 round to Vasey, 1 round to McSharry, who will take the 3rd round, who will go. Off the blocks.
Great start again from McSharry.
Well, there's not a lot in this one. This is going to be tight. McSharry, I think, maybe has the advantage again in lane 7. She's taking this pretty seriously. I think Vasey is going to be okay. It looks like Hanlon's going to be okay. I think Pinfold will be the one to succumb here. But once again, it's Mona McSharry taking the round. That's fairly academic at this stage, but what's important is that we lose in the Pinfold. Did well to make it this far from the outside lane, but our final 3 will be McSharry, Vasey and Hanlon. So David Cumberledge somehow sneaked through into this, as you call it, semi-final, up against Scott and Guy. He'll have to really go much harder in this one if he is to make it into the last 2. Duncan Scott will be wanting to keep his fast pace going. Won every round so far from lane 5. Started off with that Scottish record and has been solid as anything ever since.
A great workout for these guys, as it's been through all the skins events. If you're still in at the end, you've had to really work hard on these 550s, as boys are doing here. You would favour Duncan and James as the 200 metre swimmers, but David's making them fight for it.
Yeah, and it's going to be these 2. Once again, it's going to be Scott, not by too much. I think Jimmy Guy knew what he was doing there, where Cumberledge was, just eased back a little bit at the end there, but made it through into the final 2. So it's going to be the 2 big guns, Duncan Scott and James Guy, going head to head in our final for the 50 free skins. James Guy will move into lane 4. Scott will stay where he is in lane 5. For the women then, Cara Hanlon in 3. Holding up the local interest from Edinburgh University. Sarah Vasey from Loughborough in lane 4. Mona McSharry from Marlins in lane 7. She's very quick onto her blocks. So, just getting herself into the zone up there. Of course, no whistle to put you onto the blocks. You can decide when you go. That's the 10-second whistle you just heard. And now they've got to judge when that is going, and there it goes.
Great racing for a very good crowd this evening at the Royal Commonwealth Pool. Fantastic swimming.
And this is pretty tight here. Nobody wants to give this one up at this final hurdle. It looks like McSharry once again, though, is leading them down the pool. And I think it's going to be Sarah Vasey that she's going to be up against. Cara Hanlon probably just has too much to do in these closing stages. So McSharry goes against Vasey in our final. Well done to Cara Hanlon, make it through to the final 3, but that's as far as she goes. And so it's going to be an England-Ireland final, and it's an England-Scotland final here for the men. As I said, James Guy on the back of that 200 fly, puffing a bit.
No wonder.
Well, that's a great tribute to him, actually, to do that 200 fly.
I think Duncan's asking if he wants any help to get on the block.
Or maybe it's a big contract.
Psychology. All about.
Oh, I'm feeling so bad.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not going to make it down the pool. Oh, but now he's got his business face on. So Guy in 4, Scott in 5. Away they go. Duncan Scott has won through every round quickly into his stroke here. And he's up quickly by about a metre and a half, but Guy is working hard here to try and stay with him. He's not giving the fight up here, and he's coming back at Scott here. This is going to go all the way here, but it's Scott who's got the advantage. Guy cannot get the speed to get to him. And what a series of swims there. And our skins champion is Duncan Scott, and I think for the first time I saw him puffing and blowing there as well. But well, what a performance from this pair. Absolutely fantastic. Hats off to the pair of them. Really enjoyed that. Duncan Scott though, Scottish record, wins all the way from start to finish. Now it's the women. Maisie stays in 4. Mona McSharry moves into lane 5. Loughborough versus Marlins of Ballyshannon. England against Ireland. The sprinter won the first round, Sarah Vasey, but it's been Mona all the way since then. But has Sarah left the best till last? Here they go. This one could be tight as well. Good starts from both of them. Just first into the stroke with about a half-metre advantage. Mona McSharry in lane 5, and she is continuing to push hard here down this final 50 of the 5. I'm not sure that Vasey has got it in her to catch her now. There's about a metre and a half between them. So it's going to be Mona McSharry who will take the skins here, not for the first time here in Edinburgh. She is the winner of the 50 breaststroke women's skins. 32.68 her final time from Sarah Vasey, the runner-up in 33.93. So congratulations to both girls, but it's Mona McSharry who showed that endurance there. As you say, you get a difference in some of the swimmers who don't, go hard in the first. They can say, right, that's it, I'm not really interested in the skins, but there's a lot of them who use it as a really useful training tool, don't they? And you see Adam Peaty, will see him tomorrow night in the breaststroke skins, and he's certainly always done that up till now here in Edinburgh. And so we saw that from Duncan Scott there and from Mona McSharry, both of them pushing really hard through the rounds.
And not unusual for them to do that kind of thing in training at certain points in their week or in the training cycle, to go those sets of hard 50s with short rest. So a little bit of walk back recovery in the middle, but familiar territory for some of those speed endurance guys who are very good at 200-metre races, and really tough for the drop-dead sprinters.
Yeah, well, that was great stuff. Fortunate for Jimmy Guy in a way that he had that 200 fly so soon before that, because that must have taken something from him there. He would have been, I think, a lot closer to Duncan Scott had he not had that 200 fly, but well, fair play to him to give it a go. 800 freestyle next. This is the fastest heat. There's the lineup. Luke Turley goes for Bath National Centre rather in 1. Jacob Goodman of Millfield in 2. Cesar Castro Val Santa Elia in 3. Daniel Jervis of Swansea University in 4. Kieran Bird of Bath National Centre in 5. Logan Fontaine, Vikings of Rouen in 6. Tobias Robinson, Loughborough National Centre in 7. Max Murphy, Loughborough University in 8.
We had some great 1500 swimming last night, and I think this race, although Jervis will be the favourite, we'll see some really good times from the other boys spread across the 8 lanes. Dan Jervis again using this meet as a very significant tune-up for himself. He's been swimming some world-class times all through this season, and very much the man to watch here in lane 4.
Yep, I would say so. Burst onto the scene in Glasgow at the 2014 Commonwealth Games, picked up a medal in the 1500 there for Wales.
Yeah, we're sitting beside some Welsh supporters on that evening, and they were delirious with delight, I think is the expression.
So he's off to a good solid start here. We've got the Spaniard next to him, lane 3. He broke a Spanish record in the 200 freestyle yesterday, so I hope he gets back to Spain okay. There have been problems today, I believe, but 56.36. Jervis takes them out. But Castroval is going out with him. Then behind them, Kieran Bird. In third spot, lane 7, Toby Robinson. Done a lot of open water in recent years. He's going pretty nicely. Certainly has shown in the past that he's capable of very highest level of distance swimming in the pool. On the bottom of your screen, Turley and Goodman. Not too far away. Logan Fontaine as well in lane 6, but it is at the front. Jervis and Castroval. Are you surprised that the Spaniard is staying as close as this to Jervis?
I watched him in the warm-up with his coach doing some pace work, and he looks in absolutely great shape. I'm sure people watching will know the expression is fit as a butcher's dog. He looks absolutely terrific, really lean, and was knocking out those pace 50s in the warm-up with great ease. His coach, his body language and communication with him, although I don't speak Spanish, I understand positive coaching.
So it is these two opening up a fair gap on a 5-way tussle really for third place, led by Bird and Robinson in lanes 5 and 7, but it's still Jervis. They're just gradually opening up the gap over Castroval now. 300 approaches. We'll see what the gap is as they go through. 2:55.13 and 2:56.20, so just over a second. Pacing a little bit under the minute for his 50s, about 59.3.
I would not be surprised to see Dan pick the pace up at the halfway mark. He's looking really long and controlled, a much slower stroke rate than he does at his best. Very controlled first 400 metres here.
Season best at the moment, I think 7:49 he did at Luxembourg not that long ago. So he'll be looking to try and match that here. The Edinburgh International meet record held by Jay Lely at 7:57. So
I think that's going to go.
3:54.65. So again, about 59.5 that time, so pretty similar to his previous 100. And you can see the lead now is stretching away. Castroval stayed with him for, well, 200 or 300, but not so much now. And in fact, it's coming under pressure himself from Robinson in lane 7, who's broken away from Bird and co.
Done really well last night, the 1500. Totally.
So 500 metres. We'll see whether this represents an upping of his pace. So if he was 59.5 again, we'd be looking at something around 4:54 here. And that's pretty much on that, 4:54.50. So steady pace still. Robinson now has moved into second place and more than a body length clear of the Spaniard now, and you can see just in or out of your screen there, fourth place. Lane 6, Logan Fontaine, the Frenchman. So 3/4 distance at this next turn. 5:54.37. So again, just under the minute. So not seeing him pick up his pace just yet, but maybe it's saving it for a big final 100.
Well, I know he's been in hard training. In fact, all distance swimmers are pretty much most of the season, but I know this past week he's done some really heavy work, so racing on top of that is a hard task.
1500 last night, will that still be in his body at all?
It will, although if they swim internationally, you would normally do the heats of the 15 or the 8 one day and the final the next. Of course, things are flipped at the Olympic Games this year, with the finals being in the morning to accommodate American television times. But either way, you do get a day between them, so he should be all right.
6:54.19. So again, just under the minute. 59.8 there. So just looking at that record of 7:57 as you predicted, I think that one is going to go. I think maybe finishes on a 58 maybe here, something like that.
Yeah, I think so. People watching may remember the famous Jim Telfer speech about the honest player with living with the Lions, and Dan Jervis is very much the honest swimmer. You get a great effort from him every time. He gives you his best shot in training and in competition. He's the epitome of the honest swimmer, and finishing really strongly on this last 25.
So he had company early on, but certainly not in the last 500 or 600 meters, and he's coming in to bring this one in. It's going to be another meet record going, 7:51.26, so finished on a 57 there, and a new meet record for Welshman. And Jervis took the meet record in the 1500 yesterday. That was his own, he improved it. Now he's taken Jay Elliott's record in the 800 tonight, so very well done to him. Second place, Toby Robinson. He also got under the 8 minutes. His entry time was 8:06, so he'll be well pleased to think with that. Third place, Luke Turley from lane 1, so good swim from him, 8:04. Turley entered 8:09, time he did in last year's British Championship, so nice progression for him as well.
And if I'm permitted a comment on behalf of my day job, disappointing to see no Scottish swimmers in that men's 800 metres final heat.
Yeah, we've got some work to do there, I think. Let's we can persuade Stephen Milne to go back to the longer distances, because he was up there in the days of yore, but now focusing on 200 and 400s. Perth City man, and nobody really has come to claim his mantle. So we finish off the night with 200 freestyle for the women. 3 finals here, junior final up at the blocks now. Catherine Bailey goes for Perth City in lane 1. Kaylin Hall of Aberdeen Performance in 2. Olivia Mason, Warrender in 3. Honey Osrin of Plymouth Leander in 4. Katie Shannon of City of Glasgow in 5. Greta Colbeck, Plymouth Leander in 6. Drew Mackenzie, City of Glasgow in 7, and Jacqueline McMillan of Carnegie in 8. 2:06 the fastest time. One more junior to come, Emma Russell in the B final.
Yeah, I think we have Lauren Patterson in lane number 5, replacing her City of Glasgow teammate Katie Shanahan. So first reserve takes her place in the final, gets another shot.
Good spot, Alan, thank you very much.
There is a difference in stature.
That's
Give it
true.
away. Katie's much taller.
So lanes 4 and 6 setting the early pace here. Honey Osrin in 4, Greta Colbeck in 6. Honey Osrin with a number of junior wins to her name so far this week. Also up there in lane 3, Olivia Mason of Warrender. In 3rd spot, although Drew Mackenzie is pretty much with her in lane 7. Colbeck, the German based in Plymouth. Looks like she's going to lead them at halfway. 1:01.56. Not too much in it. Osrin in second. Mason in third.
Outstanding backstroker, of course, Osrin, last year in European Junior and European Youth Olympic Festival over the summer. Testing herself on 200 freestyle here as part of her season's preparation.
Coming into this meet on a 2:01. Turns for home 1:32.96, so probably not going to be quite that fast here, unless she really blitzes this final length. Looks like it's going to be Greta Colbeck in second, ahead of the local girl Olivia Mason. But no doubt who's going to take this one. Honey Osram putting in another very solid performance here. Clock just coming towards 2 minutes. She's got around 7-8 meters to go. So takes the win in 2:04.19. So that will be the target time for Emma Russell in this next final. Greta Colbeck in second, Olivia Mason third, 2:06 and 2:08 respectively.
This should be a good competitive race, this B final.
So we have Lauren Wetherall after that 800 earlier, goes in lane 1 for Ellesmere College. Ellie Walker of Loughborough University in 2, Emma Russell, the 1 junior from Heart of Midlothian in 3, Jess Podger of Millfield in 4, Rachel Masson in lane 5 from Edinburgh University, Amy Grant of Loughborough University in 6, Phoebe Griffiths, Ellesmere College in 7, she was involved in that 800 as well, and Emily Large, who we saw in the fly earlier, goes in lane 8. Podger 2:03.83, Masson 2:04.10, and 2 swimmers on 2:04.6, Emma Russell and Amy Grant.
What a great start from the youngster, Emma Russell, putting to good use all of her practice last night in those skins 50s.
Yes, she's certainly up there along with Rachel Masson. So 2 Edinburgh-based swimmers at the front early on. Looks like it's going to be Masson maybe is going to get the touch at the 50, but not by much. 28.26. Good turn from Russell though.
Yeah, she's been really working on those skills this season. Tall girl, so getting round those walls is always a challenge in a developmental swimmer, but she and coach Phil Potter have been doing some work on that. Really good on the water, great fly kick. Very much challenging for the lead in this B final.
Amy Grant right up there as well in lane 6. Those 3 all under the minute, so faster than the junior final at this stage, so looking good for Emma Russell to claim the junior win. She's still very much in the frame to win this B final as well, along with Masson and Grant. It's only between these 3 as we come up to the 150. Who turns first? It's Masson again. Grant in second, Russell in third. 31.10.
Well, they complimented Emma in their first 2 turns. That third one was a little bit short off the wall. Feeling the pace of the backstroke skins, but still in the hunt for this last 25.
Yep, certainly working hard, as are all 3, and a late charge from Emily Large over in lane 8 as well, but she'll not catch the leading group. Neither will Jess Podger in lane 4, and what a finish from Emma Russell, because although she, as you said, didn't have the best turn, she dug in really hard down that final length and ends up with a win, 2:02.98. That will make her the top junior as well. So well done, Emma. Nice way to finish off day 2 of this meet for her.
Close to her best time, I believe.
It's just looking at what her entry time was, 2:01.50. So Don't know whether that was a conversion, maybe. It might have been from short course.
So, either way, a good encouraging swim from her, and good to see her race down that last length and get her hand on the wall.
Yes, important skill that. Now our final race should be a good one. We have Amelia Rodd of Ellesmere College going in lane 1. Monique Olivier at University in 2. Georgia Coates of Bath National Centre in lane 3. Lane 4, Catherine Greenslade of Edinburgh University. Freya Anderson of Ellesmere College is in 5. Abby Wood of Loughborough National Centre in 6. Lucy Hope of Edinburgh University in 7. Candice Hall, Loughborough University in 8. So got some real strong class here. Freya Anderson perhaps is the one you'd fancy, although she wasn't the fastest qualifier for this final. Goes in lane 5, the European short course champion. Georgia Coates, Catherine Greenslade, Monique Olivier, who was fantastic in the 400 yesterday. Lucy Hope could be a contender from lane 2. Let's see what happens. We won a good one, didn't we, to finish off the night?
It's a really strong field for this 200 free, and Freya Anderson definitely the favourite on form. Should be pushed all the way by Catherine Greenslade.
Greenslade was the fastest qualifier in the heats this morning, but it looks like it is Anderson maybe just coming out of the dive with the narrow lead. Also good start in lane 7 from Lucy Hope. So these two, the early front runners, as we come up to the wall, there's very little to choose between them. Will be Anderson just 27.16.
Swam really well in Luxembourg at the beginning of the year. Went the best time.
So certainly Lucy Hope has looked like she means business here. Can she sustain this pace, do you think?
She's a great 200-metre freestyle swimmer. Very aggressive at the start. Freya will be stronger at the end. It's a really good start from Lucy Hope. 57.7. That's close to her best ever. First 100 split, and giving Freya quite a race.
Starting to move up in lane 3 is Georgia Coates. And in lane 6 is Abby Wood. Trying to get close to Lucy Hope's second place, but still it's Anderson up by about a body length now through the 150, 127.99. It's just dropped a little bit in that third 50, a 30.5. And she is considerably faster than she was, about 2 seconds faster than she was in the heats. And surely has got another win to come in here. Meet record 158. So she might not be too far away from that, 158.04. Jazz Carlin's record. It's going to be close. Oh, it equals it. Well, we had that yesterday as well. We finished off with an equal record, and we got the same again to finish off with tonight. 158.04, equaling Jazz Carlin's meet record. Great way to finish off proceedings. Georgia Coates in the end, too good to get second. Abby Wood third, and Lucy Hope just fading a little bit in that last 50. Has to settle for fourth, but under the 2 minutes, so there is some good there. Came in on a 2:00:13, so she will have just knocked up a little improvement on that. So nice way to finish off the day for her.
Good strong swimming all round. 5 girls under 2 minutes. Not bad at this time of the season at all, and lots to continue to work on across the board. Nice to see Georgia Coates back close to form, having some, of course, for Team GB in the Olympics in Rio as a very young swimmer.
Yep, so that's it for day 2. We are done. Thanks to Alan Lynn again for your wise words and keeping me straight a few times. I'm Duncan McKinnell, and we'll wish you a good night. We're back again for our final day's competition. Tomorrow might be the last chance to see some swimming for a while, so enjoy it. 8:45 we start tomorrow morning, and we look forward to having you all with us then. But for now, from the Royal Commonwealth Pool, I wish you a very good evening.
Good evening.